what was it? It was like the White House impeachment thing. Did you hear about that?
No.
Well, holy moly, is this crazy. And as we start part 8 on fire and talking about impeachment, you ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
So basically, this is a crazy story though. So from what I've gleaned from it, right?
You
Trump,
gleamed?
yeah, from what
Okay.
I have understood from it or learned about it. And granted, I don't know like all the facts. I didn't look into it that much. But right now, people are looking into impeaching Trump from being the
Mm-hmm.
president. And the reason that this is happening is because apparently the president of Ukraine was going, hey, we want to buy more Javelin missiles. I believe they're missiles. I don't know if they're like a defense system or missiles or weaponry. I'm not sure. But he goes, we want to buy more Javelins. And Trump was kind of like, well, okay, this and that and whatever. The heck is this? I'm telling a story and then this unknown person comes in and interrupts me. Anyways, so he had kind of said to the president of Ukraine, like, hey, you should really take care of all this. And people were kind of thinking that was almost like a threat, like, if you don't take care of all this, we won't let you buy more javelins from us. And it was kind of quoted as that's basically what Trump is doing, is basically the equivalent of telling somebody to do their job, or like a boss telling somebody to do their job, and then stating what that person's salary is. So, for example, hey, let's say a guy makes 100,000 a year. You make 100,000 a year, you better get this done. It's kind of like that's what they were kind of saying it, or equating it to.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, crazy story, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Why was I telling you that story though? I totally forgot.
I really don't know. Oh, because I was like, it better be quiet.
It would have been funnier
You
if we
said,
just both didn't know though, wouldn't it?
no, so you ready for this?
Yeah.
So my brother had his open house at school tonight, and obviously with like open house, they show off like all of his schoolwork that he's done this year already and whatnot.
Right.
Which I don't understand why it's so early in the year because they've been in school for like 2 weeks. I
Oh,
think
that's
this
a,
is
that's
the
a good
third
point.
week.
Yeah, that seems real
So,
early.
so, they had his open house, and I didn't end up going because I was working on an art piece that I had to finish up, and like I was kind of like in the groove and didn't want to disturb that, and I was like, I'm sorry, I really gotta get this done though.
Oh, actually, and
Cause
after this story, explain like what you're doing that for. That'd be a good thing to talk about.
wait, explain what?
Like the art stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm doing Inktober. A lot of artists do it, and I'm not like on YouTube or anything, so I don't like
Well, you're gonna
take
be.
videos of it.
If you didn't know you were, this would be a surprise.
Well, no, I mean like I don't have my own personal like YouTube channel where I put my art up or anything. Like I'm online and stuff, but that's
Right.
about it.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Oh no, my cat.
Inktober is a thing that people do, or the thing that artists do every October, and you can either do it every day or every other day, or like a lot of people kind of try to do it every day and then end up just like losing the momentum and
Right.
kind of don't end up doing it every day.
Okay.
But what you do is you make an art piece that incorporates ink into it somehow for every day of October, following a prompt list, like an official prompt list. And so with the prompt list, each word you kind of make an art piece that like doesn't necessarily have something, well, it has something to do with that word, but it's more like an interpretation of like that word's meaning, maybe. Like, I don't know exactly how to explain it. Like, for a lot of the prompt words for this year, like, I'm not really taking the literal word and like drawing a picture of like what it is or whatever, but maybe something that could like be associated with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. So something
Anyway,
relatable to the word prompt.
yeah.
Right
And
on.
like some of them are very like complicated to try and do anything but the literal meaning of that word. Like
Which
it's kind of hard.
which ones, for example?
So, like, for the first prompt word for the first day of October, it's ring, and like, obviously your mind pretty much straight goes to like rings that you'd wear on your finger. I mean, that's
Sure.
kind of how it was for me, and I was trying to think of something like outside of the box that I could do that could associate with that word, but wasn't directly like a ring or anything.
Right.
But I was having a lot of trouble with it, and like ultimately kind of, I mean, like the whole thing about Inktober too is that it's supposed to be kind of like a month of like, because you're drawing so much, you're trying to improve on your skills and like kind of expand your knowledge of like different stuff, I guess. And so one thing that I really wanted to improve
Oop,
on
wait, we
drawing
got a
is like
cutscene.
hands. Okay.
Thanks, Lorelei. So she took out 2 guys. Way to hold them off. We just fought through 30 of them. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
So, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh,
Improve on.
one thing I really want to improve on is like drawing hands, because that is not my strong suit. Like, I do a lot of portraits, but, and like sometimes I do other poses, but I usually find a way to hide the hands or like just not include them in there just because like that's not something I'm like very comfortable drawing. So I took that like the ring prompt as an opportunity to kind of improve on like my hand drawing and make rings on it. So it's like pretty like straightforward. But then I have other, like I have the second day, the prompt word is mindless. So today, one of the pieces I was working on was an astronaut, but it's like not exactly an astronaut. It's more like a lady with a helmet over her head in space. But like the space I'll do with like the watercolor, because that's like usually I work with watercolor
Right.
usually, and I'll do her with ink. It's, I don't know. I've never actually done it before, like the whole Inktober thing. This will be like the first year that I've really done it, or I'm gonna try and do it every day. So
Well,
because it's such like a
can I ask you a question?
what
Why are
what?
you starting now?
Cause I feel like in the past year I've expanded my knowledge of like art stuff. Like I've always been into art stuff, but in the past like year I've like taken the time and invested the money to like get good art supplies and like learn new mediums and kind of like get better at art in general and actually like try and make a living off of it.
Okay.
So that's kind
Fair
of, I
enough.
wanted to try and do it this year because I feel like I could come up with some really cool ideas.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna try and do it every day, but because it's like 31 days of trying to do like finished pieces, not like sketches, but planned out finished pieces, I've been taking the past like week and like the rest of this month to prepare. So what I'm doing is like normally when I do a piece, I like sketch it out either like on paper or digitally, and like I have a light box that after I do that sketch, so that it's on a clean sheet of watercolor paper, I'll like trace my initial sketch through that so it's like cleaned up and looks all professional and whatnot.
Right.
So I've been working on those sketches that I'm going to be doing that with, so that when each day comes I'll have that sketch so that stop throwing bombs at me, so that I can just go ahead and work on the piece that day. I can't
Gotcha.
enter it.
You
There
gotta
we
go.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
I got it.
Right on.
But I worked for like 12, almost 12 hours on it today, and that was just finishing 3
Oh,
pieces,
that's.
so
Jeez. That's a lot.
yeah, and that's only the sketching too. So like it's kind of a prime example of like why I'm starting it now with like the sketching process for each one is because that part takes so long, and then like for me personally, doing one finished piece from like start to finish, from like sketching to transferring to painting and everything, can take like my entire day up. Like I've had a piece that just painting it alone took 7 hours, not even taking into accounting the inking process and the sketching.
Okay, right.
So
That's obviously quite a big time commitment.
yeah, and if I'm trying to take 12 hours a day to do all of that for all of October, that's like kind of impossible to do. So it
Right.
helps if I have something
Oh my god, there are
prepared so that
people
it
on our
takes,
car.
it helps if I have something prepared that takes that time, like a little bit of time out of it.
Right. Fair enough. That's pretty cool, though.
What exactly are we trying to do?
Contact Reese. We picked up an echo, and now we're just kind of waiting, I believe. We're really not good
Huh.
at following the story. Like, do either of us have any idea
No.
about what's happening right now?
Nope.
Alright. Good.
Oh, I remember what. Okay. I just got so sidetracked explaining what Inktober was. Okay,
Yeah.
so the funny story that I was initially saying before you
Yeah.
rudely interrupted me.
You're fine. Jeez.
So anyway, my my brother had his open house tonight, and my mom sent a picture to our family group chat because there was this list that my brother made of his heroes in life, and like it had everybody in our house except for me. And and I wasn't on it, but like he drew a picture of my sister, my mom, and my uncle, and then him. Oh, and his dad. So
Ouch.
so
Awesome.
in it he explained why each person was his hero. And for my uncle, it said because he's a cop and puts people in jail.
Alright.
For his dad, he put because he saved my grandfather's life. Like that's kind of why he ended up dying.
Okay.
For
Getting
my
into
mom,
some
he
heavy
said because
topics here.
not really. It's not that sensitive of a topic.
Oh, jeez. Okay, keep going.
For my mom, he said because she's a paramedic and like was a firefighter and all this. And then for my sister, it talks about how she helps him out with his neurology stuff. But nowhere in there is there anything about me providing meals or taking him out for ice cream. Like the person who took you out for ice cream almost every day this summer isn't a hero to you.
Apparently not. What are you doing? There you are.
Stop!
Oh boy. We got an argument in the background now. Uh-oh. You're gonna have to start making some more threats.
I apologize. He's just mad because of the PlayStation. I've tried explaining to him that this isn't a time to talk, and I told him to go into another room.
Come on, whatever your name is, Lorelai. What, didn't I just talk to you?
I know somebody who named their baby Lorelai.
Huh. How'd that go?
I don't know. She's like I think she's younger than me.
Oh, we gotta go this way. The baby or the lady who
The
had
person who named her baby. Ooh. I can't see anything. I like that they have lady psychos this time. I know I've said that before, but
Already running out of content.
okay.
Really good, huh? Where are you? Come on, let's go. Stop looting. We got a mission. We gotta save these people. What the heck is this? Hello?
Wait, where are you? Oh,
Upstairs.
don't shoot at me. Is that a threat?
Actually, you wanna hear a funny story about that? So,
About what? Shooting at you?
No, I was laughing because I had gone, hey, like, we got a mission to do, stay focused, and then I immediately turned over to a box, and I was like, oh, what's this? Um, so, in, some old family movies we've got at my house when I was, like, a little kid and whatever, we would obviously do Easter egg hunts for Easter. And,
Wait, your family took videos when you guys were little?
yeah, we had, like, a bunch
My
of old
family
family
never did
movies.
that.
Oh, that's too bad for you. Anyways, so,
Thanks.
you're welcome. So, there's one where we'd all kind of come downstairs, and a couple of my siblings were looking around for Easter eggs, and they had spotted a few, and they were pointing them out, and they're like, "Oh, I got one here, I got one here," and it wasn't time for the Easter egg hunt yet, and I was like, I was getting really mad, and I went, "Guys, stop looking!" And right as I finished saying it, I saw an Easter egg, and I went, "I found one! I found one!" And I was jumping up and down because I was so excited.
How old are you?
Little, I don't know, like first grade maybe, tops.
That's funny.
Like it's like a thing. Why is
Do you
that
know
funny?
what I realized? Oh, it's just funny.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh boy.
That one, my Mr. Chu is getting them. He's doing a great job. Oh, that's one of your shield boosters there. I was wondering what that is. Is it? Probably.
This is. I'm a big giant bear.
Oh yeah. Do you have a shield on right now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, that's Lorelei. Oops, sorry, Lorelei.
Digistruct torpedoes! They're sending in reinforcements!
Digistruct torpedoes, oh no.
I had to delete the other Borderlands games off the PS4 so that I could update the Elder Scrolls. Because there wasn't enough room.
Yeah, there's not like, not a whole lot of room on these things anymore. Or I'd say that back. There's a lot of rooms, but the amount of space the games take up is absurd.
Yeah, like it kind of defeats the purpose of having a PS4. It's like you want one so you can play a whole bunch of games, but like you can only fit like, I don't know. I think the most I fit is like 7 games where like it doesn't
Wow,
take up
7?
too much space. It's just enough.
Man, you're way better at fitting than I am. I can only get like 5.
Mm.
What was that? Was that not a good joke?
I don't quite understand the joke. Like I think I do, but I don't quite understand it. I'm not sure if it's the direction you're trying to make a joke in, or
I'm
if
just
it...
saying. I'm just saying you're better at fitting than I am. Jeez.
Okay.
Why does everything got to be like such a hassle or such a, you know? Oh, this is a guy.
Ooh.
I really wish I could think of the word that I wanted to there. Anyways, you sounded excited about something.
I was thinking about the other night when we went out to dinner.
Yeah.
That lady. She took way more interest in you than she even did in me.
What, at the pizza place? Like a while ago?
We didn't go to a pizza place. Oh.
Oh,
no.
yeah. Oh,
That was like 2 years ago.
definitely not.
Definitely.
That's a good story, though.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Not to me, it wasn't.
She was old.
So,
She's
you wanna
like
go
my mom's age.
So-
My mom isn't really that old, but like, I find that weird.
you go through the story, though. That's funny.
We went to get, we went to a pizza place, and we were getting food, and
As you do in a restaurant.
whatever. And I don't remember what exactly you said. You said, she asked us what we wanted to drink, and you said something. And I think you said like, oh,
Probably
Coke or
Coke,
something.
yeah.
And she goes, oh, Diet Pepsi? And you're like, no, Coke. And she's like, oh, no problem. I can get that for you. Or something like that. It was really weird. Like, the way she said it. And I remember there was something that she was like, I can't remember exactly what happened. Like, I know it was like really weird, and the way I'm telling about it, it doesn't sound, or the way I'm telling the story doesn't make it sound that weird, but I remember it was like,
Well, that was a thrilling reliving of that
I'm
day or night or
flustered.
whenever it was. I guess so.
No,
What
the
the heck is
restaurant the
happening
other
here?
night.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Are you having trouble killing it?
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back.
I didn't even know you left.
Oh, I thought I said hold on 1 second. Anyways, yeah, it was about like going to grab my brother from work. Anyways, keep going. What were you saying?
Oh
some
no,
busy people, huh?
that
Oh
lady
no.
at the restaurant the other night that we were at. That was like my dream girl.
Was it? It's not one of these psychos
Yeah.
here?
No, but she like definitely took way more interest in you than she didn't even glance at me. She asked me if I wanted more to drink a few times, but there was like one point she reached behind you and I don't know. I was like, ooh.
You said oof?
No. But I remember I was looking at the TV and you were like, what are you looking at, huh? I wasn't even looking at anyone. I was looking at the TV and you were so rude, trying to call me out on something that wasn't even happening.
Reese, relax. It's Lorelei. We've taken back Watershed Base with a little help. Hang about. What is that thing on your face?
Look, good news. We took back a base. This dude has a mustache. Did you ever play Tales from the
Oh my
Borderlands?
Yeah.
Me either. Anyways, this is what that guy's from. No, I've never played it.
Really?
Nope, never ever.
Maybe that's not what I thought it was then, because I was just thinking it was the first one.
No, it's a Telltale game. So do you know the guys that make the Walking Dead game?
They're good, Reese.
Where you play as
Yes.
Clementine?
The help we can get. Bandits are poor.
Yeah, they made a Borderlands
Yeah.
one, where it's this guy and the Underpants guy.
Like Katagawa's made a deal with the
Those are
Ooh.
the characters.
Well, apparently on my screen it was a lack of underpants.
Yes. The no underpants guy. Excuse me. You have the hiccups now?
Yeah.
Why don't you go meet
So
Reese
I can make this thing...
Okay.
Base back online and
It
start
says a
clearing out the
taser.
city. Oh, before you head off, I've got something for you.
Which is interesting. Or a pistol.
Would you ever willingly get tased?
Sure.
Really?
I think I'd rather be in a position where I willingly get tased than in a position where I
Than
unwillingly get
unwillingly?
tased. Yeah.
So a family friend of ours who she worked in a prison for a long time, every year, she had to get tased as like a test. It was really weird, but I remember like one time
We've got a mission here.
she took me shopping and it was around like Christmas time. And I remember we were having a discussion in the car and she was like, yeah, Monday I gotta go into work and get tased. I'm not looking forward to it.
When a commander makes mistakes,
Oh.
people die. And I'm sure my
I got a cool new thing here.
Head to the Rise and Grind coffee
Color
shop.
code.
Now I can change the colors
Make
on
it,
the car.
I'm gonna make it Torg, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Can't do anything there. Can't do anything there. And can't do anything there. Alright, deploy vehicle. Look at me. Oh. You gonna make your own one?
Yeah, I'm making the colors I want.
Oh, of course. Gotcha. Oh, mine car's way better than yours. Mine's a giant wheel. What's up?
I didn't know
Galloway?
how to change that. I just, oh.
This is a cool
I
place.
got my favorite,
Oh,
I got my favorite color.
that's good. Like, the maps, or like the map and everything looks pretty awesome so far. What do you think?
For Sanctuary?
Just for no, like the whole map, like just everything, like just looks awesome. This is bad guy. Get out of here. Alright. Well, let's head through here.
You can ride on walls.
Can you?
Yeah, you can go up the walls.
Well, where?
I just did it by accident, but you can still do it.
Okay. What are you fighting?
I'm not fighting anything, I was just knifing something.
Let's see.
The pizza is just out of the oven.
Oh, snap.
I know.
What kind
I
do you have?
also, oh, I have to drive down to a concert in 2 days, and I am so nervous.
Why? So should all...
Cause I don't.
I mean, the other drivers on the road are... Who should be nervous?
I don't, because well, see, what my plan is it's my sister and I going,
Yep.
and she's getting dismissed from school early
Oh.
so that we can leave.
Right.
But, because I'm trying to make it down before, like, rush hour really starts.
Yeah, makes sense.
But then the other thing is finding parking, because parking at the event is like $70,
Yeah,
which kind of sucks.
right.
So I gotta like worry about that. But then I also gotta worry about the fact that I'm gonna be driving through a really
About to
busy
die.
place. It doesn't matter if it's rush hour or not. It's always a busy place.
True. You can't like find a garage near there or something and just walk over?
I don't know. I don't know.
Jeez. Fine.
Cause like, I don't know. I'm trying to get down there before 5 so that I'm avoiding like the rush.
Right.
Cause it's a 2.5 hour drive. So if I'm leaving at 2, like I should be getting around like 4:30.
Sure.
Well, maybe 5 because I usually take like an extra half hour to drive anywhere. But I don't know. I'm really nervous. I don't really want to drive down, but I also bought concert tickets and I'm not gonna waste them. Especially since it's like my absolute favorite band in the world that I'm going to see.
I thought it was that sad rap guy.
No, that's next month. That's Scotty Sire.
Oh.
I'm going to see Five Sauce.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually the Chainsmokers, and they're opening up for them, and I couldn't care less about the Chainsmokers. I'm not a fan at all, but I want to go see Five Sauce. So I basically bought concert tickets to only see half of a show, because I'm leaving after Five Sauce is done. Is it like, are you allowed to leave concerts early? Will they like get mad at you?
No, you can leave whenever you want.
Okay.
No, when I went to see AC/DC, so the way they had it, we were like in front of the stage, kind of like on the field almost, because we went to like a football stadium was where we went, was where they had the concert. I died again. I'm really bad. Anyways, and so they just had kind of set out some folding chairs all
I
across.
just realized I killed the guy you had been trying to kill.
Wow, I was wondering where he went. He just kind of disappeared behind my animal. Unbelievable. Anyways, so they set out a bunch of folding chairs, and we all kind of, we had assigned seats and everything, but it wasn't, it wasn't like designated seating or whatever. So anyways, probably about halfway through the show, this dude shows up and just kind of walks in, shimmies past us as you do when you kind of have seating like that. Just kind of like shimmies through, he's like, oh, excuse me, or whatever, my seat's here, and whatever. And then he just starts like smoking a joint in front of everybody. And I remember this one guy, he showed up, later into the show, so he definitely showed up late. And I remember this one guy called security on him, like he went and he got the security guard, and he's like, hey, I don't know if this guy's supposed to be here or not. And the security guard kept trying to get the guy's attention, but the dude, what he would do is he just kept purposely ignoring him, but kind of did that thing where like, oh, I'm just not hearing you or whatever.
Yeah.
And finally he gets his attention, And he's, hey, are you supposed to be here and whatever? He's, yeah, I got a ticket and whatever, it's fine, it's, came late and whatever. So yeah, you can come and go whenever you want.
Oh.
Yep.
Because I don't want to stay for the second half. Like, I don't want to sit
Brutal.
through music that I could care less about.
Brutal.
It's not brutal. It's just convenient that my favorite band is opening for another band. Like,
It's convenient for
I
this one
was
band
gonna-
that you're giving your money to, then not supporting.
I think
boy.
I'm supporting them by giving my money to them. I think they can thank me already. I don't have to
You can't
stay.
throw grenades when you're dead? Oh no, I'm gonna die again. I'm dead. I am terrible. Oh my goodness, I'm
I
dead.
was gonna wait until next year when they're touring on their own to go to a concert, but then I was like, well, you never know what'll happen. And like, I have been waiting forever to see them in concert again. I've seen them before in concert, but it was before I even really knew who they were because they were opening for another band. It was like kind of when they first got their start. And so I didn't get to appreciate seeing them in concert then.
Of
But
course.
I got general admission seating, which means I'm like right up near the stage, and I am so excited.
Very cool. Very cool indeed.
The tickets were not cheap, but I managed to get my mom to pay for half of my sister's. I was like, listen, I don't know anyone that's gonna go to this concert with me willingly, besides my sister. If she can't pay for herself, I would, like, you wouldn't ever go to it with me.
You're right.
And then, like, I don't have friends.
Oh, brutal.
I have two friends, one who would never go to that with me, and the other one who's like halfway across the country. Like, what was I supposed to do? And my sister likes them, not as much as me. Nobody likes them as much as me, but
Wow.
what?
Biggest fan over here. That is just funny. Nobody likes him as much as me.
I am.
No, I'm sure, yeah. Name the towns each of them were born in.
Oh, don't ask me that.
Oh, well, obviously you're not the biggest fan.
That's
clear.
just... That's something like 15-year-old me would have known. Not mature 20-year-old me. I went through a phase though where, well, I say it's a phase, but like I occasionally still do it. Where I used to like, read fan fiction all the time about them.
But you know, I would argue that, many people these days would say that there's not a difference between, like what anything you do when you're, like 15 or 16 and when you're, you know, getting older in your, like, your 20s or whatever. What the heck is this? What's it grenade?
There's a big difference between those two ages.
See, you'd think so. But, why are people then obviously getting held accountable for things they said on Twitter when they were, you know, 16, 17? That guy, Carson. I forget, I think it was like King Carson. This dude has raised, he had this little sign. I don't know if you heard about it. But basically what he did was he held up a sign at a football game. I think it was football. And he went, hey, Busch Light supply empty. Venmo me for a refill or whatever, right? And he put his Venmo there. And this dude made just like a crazy amount of money from people just giving him money because it was like a funny sign that he held up on TV.
Yeah.
And he ended up making so much cash that he went, I'm going to buy one case of beer and then I'm going to donate the rest to a children's hospital. And this became such a big movement. Oh, 0. This became such a big movement that, like, the beer maker, Anheuser-Busch, and I believe it was, like, PayPal or Venmo or something got involved with them, too. And went, hey, we're going to match your donations, right? And so these guys have, you know, they're at like $1.2 million now to donate to a children's hospital. What's up, 0? Our mission begins. Haiku. Anyways, and they were doing like a little story on him, and they found tweets that he made like 7 years ago, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that's not really okay." And now there's like a big thing, but the community's kind of standing behind him. But like,
Yeah.
Anheuser-Busch cut ties with him and whatever, because originally they had given him, we're gonna give you.
I don't I don't think that's so much like a moral thing more than just a publicity thing. Like cutting ties with him, they don't want the bad publicity for being associated with him.
Yeah,
It's not
but
necessarily
they're
like,
getting bad publicity for cutting ties with him.
oh, they are?
Yeah, because people are on his side.
Oh.
Because he made these tweets in reference to the show Tosh.0.
I've
When he
never
was,
seen it.
but like you know the guy, like Tosh, Daniel Tosh.
I don't know.
He's a comedian. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I really thought you knew. Anyways, so there's this guy Daniel Tosh. He's a comedian, right? I think he still has the show. I don't know if he's doing it anymore. But he at least one point had this show called Tosh.0, and it was basically like
Well, I heard about the show.
Yeah, he like review movie clips and whatever, and just kind of like talk with the audience and stuff and make jokes. And what happened was this guy was a big fan of that show, and he made 2 tweets referencing either jokes that he had seen on there or something that he had seen on there, and they were like offensive jokes. And what ended
Like
up
all
happening,
good jokes.
yeah, exactly. And basically what happened was people were kind of, this company anyways was like, hey, yeah, this doesn't like represent our values and whatever, so we're not cool with this. And people were not happy about it. Like, this dude just raised, $1.2 million or whatever, or 1 point something million dollars for a charity. And you're now cutting ties with him because of something he said almost a decade ago. That's absurd. And the journalist who had brought it up, who had been writing the report on him, had mentioned like, yeah, we did like a background check on his social media and stuff. We found this. So people went through the journalist's social media and found a bunch of racist tweets that he had done in the past.
That's so funny.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Did you hear about that thing with Adam Sandler where like, have you ever seen the movie Grown Ups?
No, I have not. Crazy,
So,
huh?
in the movie, he plays like a dad, and there's this kid that obviously played his child in the movie. Well, that kid like died recently, and so he like did this thing. I don't really know exactly what he did, but I know he like raised some amount of money for his family or something like that, and I don't know. And like, because it wasn't a big amount or as much of an amount as like this guy makes in his life or something like that, everyone was like, wow, Adam Sandler, what a piece of shit you are. Like, you couldn't donate more than this amount of money when you make this amount of money. It's like, isn't the point that he like raised this money in the first place?
No, I've found that's a real common thing that people do, actually. Did you hear about that dude that won the lottery?
No.
So, every dude that won the lottery, did you hear about him? No. Anyway, so, this guy, he won the lottery. And I think it was a guy from Texas. And this is like, like a known throughout the town, right? Like, nice guy and everything. Everyone loved him. All this stuff. He was a regular at the diner and everything. And he had won the lottery. And one of the first things he did was he donated a bunch of money, right? He goes, okay, like super generous. And he was kind of getting up there in age as well. So he kind of went, well, I don't need $200 million or whatever he won. So I'm going to donate a bunch of it.
Yeah.
So as he's, he does that, he donates a bunch, gives a lot to like the local school, the library, just all these different functions and things and whatever else. And then he, obviously it's his money, so he then starts spending it. He does like a lot of gambling. He liked to go into, I believe it was the horse races, liked to go into those. And he got involved in like, like hired like some hookers and stuff or something. And
Nice.
yeah, right. It's just obviously what you do when you win the lottery. You know, booze and drugs and all that and
Is
whatever.
it?
Not like to the point where he was like ruining his life or whatever, but like, you know, kind of having fun with it, right? And it ended up getting to the point where, oh, I just exploded off you. Sorry. So anyways, you know, he keeps going and whatever, and people were kind of like watching him do it, and a lot of people started asking him for money and stuff because he won the lottery. So people were like, well, you know, I'm your. People just start showing up out of the woodwork. I revived you. Can you come help me now? I died
Yeah,
as well.
I'm trying to pick up a gun. Oh, fuck.
Well, can you pick me up? I'm more important. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Anyways,
coming. I
and-
can't. It won't
Oh,
let me.
Zero's getting me. Yeah, thanks, Zero. A true friend. Anyways, so he is people like are asking for money and whatever, and it kind of gets to the point where he's like, all right, I'm done donating to you guys. All the money I have given, you know, you're not like even like saying thank you at this point. You're so ungrateful. All you do is ask for more when I hand you money. So I'm done. And then people went, no, that's not fair. You didn't give us enough of your money. You should have donated more instead of spending it on whatever you spent it on.
That's funny.
Is it? I mean, it kind of ruined this dude's life.
Well, I guess it's not funny, but like the whole, I don't know, people's
That people act that way.
way, yeah, people's
Yeah.
like way of making somebody look like a piece of shit for like spending their own money.
Yeah, for one, giving money to
That's kind
them,
of like,
and then but not giving them enough.
yeah, that's kind of like, I don't, well, it's not like anything. Like sometimes if I know you're like a very financial, like smart person. Like you know a lot about money spending and like saving and whatnot, like that's your
Okay.
thing.
Right. I'm financially literate.
Yes.
Yes.
So sometimes it's like if I make like a very unwise like big purchase where I'm like I'm not even sure if I should have done this or like if I even have the money for this, but you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. Sometimes I'm like, should I even tell Michael? Like, he would disapprove of this so much. And then I'm also like, yeah, but it's my own hard-earned like money that I earned. So like, why shouldn't I spend it? Like, he's not gonna care. It's my money. But I also feel like you're gonna disapprove, and I feel the pressure.
Oh!
So
I got a
if it makes
purple
you
gun.
feel better, sometimes you're the reason I save my money is because I feel the pressure.
Well, that's good. I don't know what that is, but cool. Look at this.
I can't look. I
It's-
can't see.
Where are you?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
coming.
get all that stuff. Well, that's nice to know I help you save.
Mhm.
Here's another thing. Alright, well, we have to grab a hollow blade upgrade, and we'll end this part there, because we've been going for about 45 minutes. What do you think of that? I'll wait till you
Have
get
we
down here.
really?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
I know, time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Who said I'm having fun?
Me. I decided it
Okay.
for you that you're having fun. Alright, we grab that, and then, oh,
I need it for our mission. I'll trade you for it.
okay.
Ooh, cool.
Thanks, Zero. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at this. Monomolecular edge. Translation. Cool sword.
Alright.
Best friend Secret stealing my thing. What's wrong? What's not cutting it anymore? My offer still stands.
Oh, crazy.
Wait to come work for me.
Anyway, so with that, I guess we'll end the part there. Any parting words? Or any stumbles you want to make before we say goodbye?
Stumbles?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That seems to be just how you end any
Hello?
any part. You just kind of stumble through.
Okay, I'll stumble through by saying bye.
Can you do a haiku like Zero?
Haiku, it's 575, right?
Yeah. I think there's also one that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I admire Michael, but his influence is bad. I love him even though.
Well done. Well, anyways, we'll see you in the next part.